Welcome back to Geometry, Chapter 12, Section 2, Part 2, because we ran out of time last time, and I realized I was going to. My board was all full, I had no place to write, so I thought we'll do Part 2, or Part 2, if you're French. Alright, surface areas of prisms and cylinders. We talked about the prisms, now we're going to talk about a cylinder. What is a cylinder? It is your basic can of Quaker Oats. It is this shape. It's round on the top, matching round on the bottom. Those are circles. And if you could imagine this thing going around the edges, the lateral sides, if you split it with a knife and pulled it off of the base, it would be a rectangle. So base, this is considered a right cylinder because this is a right angle. And the height is how tall it is from base to base. So the surface area of a right cylinder is the area of each base, so it's 2 times the area of the base, and then it is the rectangle. And one way you can get the rectangle is the circumference, because that's like the length of your rectangle, times the height, which is like the width of your rectangle. So it can do circumference times height, but if you remember, circumference is 2 times pi times the radius. And also how you get the area of a circle is pi r squared, but we have 2 of them. So this formula works too. Alright, so now here's the example one. The height is 4 feet. Sometimes they'll show you out here. This one they showed you in the middle. It's a right angle, so we can use our right formulas, and the radius is 3 feet, and they want the surface area. So we have 2 bases. Each of these bases are circles, so they're pi r squared, and so it's 2 times pi times radius is 3 squared, plus the side, and for the side we don't have circumference, but we do have 2 times pi times radius times the height, and the height is 4. So you just put this all in your calculator. 2 pi 3 squared. Use the squared button. The button that has X with the 2 up top. The reason why you want to use that and not the up arrow for squared is because up arrow leaves you in exponent land and you need to get back down to numerator land. Okay? So 3 squared and then do plus 2 pi 3 times 4. How you get pi on your calculator? I realized finally that you've been using pi all year and I never showed you how, but hopefully you know. Pi on your TI-84 graphing calculator, you do second and then the up arrow and it'll give you pi. And they even put a little pi there. Alright, so anyway, you do all of that and that's 42 pi, which is approximately equal to 131.95. Alright, here's another one. This one they tell us the surface area. They tell us the radius and we're supposed to find height. So we write down our formula, then we sing substitute. Okay, and now, so for surface area, we substitute in that. 2 is 2. For the base, we're going to do pi r squared, pi radius squared, plus the circumference, and the circumference is 2 pi times the radius, and then the height. And then we're going to solve for height. Why is height not alone? Well, it's got a lot of problems, doesn't it? But we work from the outside in, and we subtract this from both sides. So we end up with 592.19 minus 2 pi times 6.5 squared. Then why is height not alone? Well, it's being multiplied by 2 pi 6.5. So you divide both sides by 2 pi 6.5. You can put this whole thing in your calculator in one go. But you just need to, before you hit divide right here for the fraction bar, you need this numerator, the whole thing in parentheses, or otherwise your calculator has a really hard time deciding what is getting divided by 2 pi times 6.5. The other way you can do it on your calculator is you can use this button that says alpha, and then hit the button that says y equals, and then hit enter, and what you're selecting is something that looks like this, which is numerator over denominator. You're telling it it's a fraction. If you do that, you don't have to do the parentheses because you're telling it what's in the numerator and what's in the denominator. If I were you, I would learn how to do both. Now, I have had some kids who have old TI-84s who that their alpha shortcut there doesn't work, sometimes you have to go back to the TI website and re-download and update to the software. Your calculator will do it, but you might need to update it. And to be able to do that, you probably need your parent to register as an educator, as a homeschool educator, so that you can get access to the programs. But that's where you can get your distance program, your quadratic equation program, your discriminant program, all of those great programs that I have on my calculator that I keep telling you to use, midpoint, all of those, you can get them off of the TI website, but you have to register as a homeschool, or your parent has to register as a homeschool educator so that then you can download those programs. All right, so come back and we'll do section 3. Math is great.